T. T, you there?
Yeah,
I'm about to say, because I was about to do an introduction. I was like, okay, guys, welcome, Roasting with You.
my bad. I might be moving a little slow since JoJo throwing shade, but
It's not shade.
I might be moving a little. My bad. So that's why I be like going on and off camera because it seems a little better when I'm off. I don't know. The shit is stupid, but whatever. Anyway, well, it's a lot of y'all up in here. I mean, I thought y'all said y'all won't come in. It's good to see y'all being here. Shout out. We totally appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for showing us support or whatever. We appreciate it.
Yeah, because there's so many people that's against us right about now, and it's crazy, right?
We're gonna have an open and honest conversation tonight, and I'm excited for this because Mark is going to come here to tell his story, and also, as always, we're going to hold him accountable and also get to the root of this because this is a lot.
Exactly. Okay. Like that's the thing. Like before we even get into the show, we just want you guys to know if you watch us and you know us, you know that we are one thing we do is hold people accountable. That's what we do. And you know, with everything that's surrounding him and stuff like that, we have to address it. So don't think that there's not going to be no open dialogue about anything. And that's just what it is. There's going to be open dialogue about everything that's been going on surrounding him, all the speculation, him being on the show, all the things he said publicly about these women and all of that stuff. You know, the thing about it is people think because we got him coming up here, it's all about bashing a specific cast member on the show. And I don't know what type of men y'all think we are, but that's not what we're doing.
Right.
We're here to ask him the hard questions. We're men ourselves. He may, you know, we're having a conversation as men, regardless of us being gay as fuck. We're still men, and we're about to have a man-to-man conversation with,
I'm bisexual, y'all gay.
The same shit. But we're here to have a man-to-man conversation with him. So I just wanted to put that out there because after this is over, we ain't talking about none of this shit no more. We ain't talking about this cult following. We're done. We're done explaining ourselves. Once this is over, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. You're just gonna get blocked. That's it.
Right. So you know, with that having been said, I ain't even gonna say too much. You know, I already told y'all earlier today that I found out it was some hoes that was looking for me. But we not here to talk about that. We gonna talk about that some other time. All right. So Mark is gonna be up here at 9:15. This gives us time to just breeze through this damn episode. And yeah, I don't want no shenanigans in the comments though now, y'all. Now we gonna act like that we got mamas and we was raised right. All right. He a guest here. You know, and we treat all our guests the same, whether you like them or not. All right. So y'all just keep it cute in the comments. That's all I ask. Ciao. So this episode, first and foremost, what did y'all think about it? Was it good? Was it bad? Horrible?
I feel like it's a continuation of the fight, like part 3.
Not part 3.
It's just like I guess a rehash after the rehash. You know what I'm saying?
Like they keep on talking about the same thing. It's like we're talking about the fight. We're talking about the combat group meeting. We keep talking about the same thing over and over again. There's no movement at this point. Like we keep harping over the same thing, and it's annoying. Like
I agree with
it's like I'm looking at the show like speed it up a bit, like boost it up a bit. Like it's like girl, come on.
Well, what did y'all think about the part when Kimmy, because I'm not gonna lie, Kimmy did bring up a good point when she mentioned about how, you know, they constantly expect for Letitia. Shout out to y'all real, by the way, for the super chat. They always want to talk about Letitia and how she needs to get a handle on Miss Wanda. But when it comes down to Mark, the both of them, and a lot of them felt like they were scared. And to me, I don't feel like they're scared of Mark. I just feel like they know who Mark is as a person, and they already know. This is a losing battle. Like, you want me to talk to him, but once he has his sights and his mind set up, that's what it is. There are some people that are like that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying I go up for it. I'm not saying what he doing is cool. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is that there are some people that are like that. If you summon them in any type of way, shape, form, or fashion, I mean, he was brought up. I don't know. I just wish Kimmy, I understood where Kimmy was coming from, but I just wish she would have stayed out of it, because y'all know I love Kimmy. I don't want Mark to say nothing about her.
But maybe, okay, in a sense, she could have stayed out of it, but it needed to be said, though. Because Marceau was always on Tisha ass about Miss Wanda. Like, he has pulled her to the side and told her that she needs to get a handle on her mama many times, but we don't really hear him say anything about the way his brother behaves on social media.
I agree.
And, you know, as somebody who has a brother, if my brother is behaving a certain type of way on social media, then I'm going to say something about it, because I don't want him acting like that. And that's not the type of image that I myself would want for him. Now, he's a 22-year-old man, but as a 33-year-old older brother, I'm here to pull him to the side and be like, nah, that's not it. You don't need to be doing that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, she's calling out the hypocrisy, if you will, in regards to that, because you want her to put her mama in the chokehold, but y'all don't do shit to y'all brother.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that Maurice holds his brother Mark more accountable than Marceau. I think that Marceau knows what's up, but we don't see the same energy with him holding Tisha accountable for Miss Wanda with Mark.
I agree. Like I said, I'm not mad that he called it out, because I'm not saying that she's wrong. But from what I saw, he really ain't saying nothing about Kimmy, and I'm glad, because Kimmy was just making a point. She had a good point. She did.
She did. She definitely had a point.
What was you about to say, Scott?
Oh, but then again, another thing about it is, like someone said, Wanda's on TV and Mark is not on TV. So when you're not on TV and you hear your name being mentioned, of course, it's like a double-edged sword. It's like, of course, you're gonna speak up because you don't have the platform to get up there. It's the same thing like Ariane when she was mentioned on the show. Well, she wasn't mentioned, but they referenced her on the show, and she uses social media to speak her mind because they talking about the affair that she was a part of. So she get on social media to speak her mind. And Mark is pretty much another Ariane, not necessarily on the show, but because they're indirectly bringing him up, or at this point, directly saying his name, he feels like he has to use social media to speak up on his behalf. As reckless as it may be, that's what he's, doing. And so but it just goes back to, at the same time, you should be able to, if you're going to call one person out about the way they allow their mother to act, you can be called out for the way your brother acts. That's still your brother regardless. So,
I agree. So, child, Melody at home and Kiki come around there. Now, I myself personally felt like this was a manufactured scene. And Kiki, I love you down, but you was being messy in this moment for me. And the only reason why I say you was being messy in this moment, Kiki, is because I look, I understand you met Melody back in when y'all was in y'all little graduate studies back in 2006. I just graduated high school. Like y'all been friends since or known each other or whatever. I get that. But do I think that you and her been friends deep enough in the trenches enough to where you need to be sitting up here having this discussion with her at this moment on camera? Nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, and then even in your live, you was just kept trying to say, well, I said it to Melody because they brought Melody up. But my thing is, don't try to make it seem as if you had to use Melody to bring that up. Like, you could have just brought that up with Tisha, and you and Tisha could have had that conversation. I would have liked that conversation better between you and Letitia. In my opinion, that would have gave both of y'all purpose. And we would have heard both sides of the story versus you telling your story to messy ass Melody. And then she wants to come back and throw in this, well, she said it, and was joking about it and laughing about it and blah, 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 blah. It just, all of it just seemed messy to me. It seemed messy and put together and produced or whatever, my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to say this. Why would she go to Letitia when she don't fuck with Letitia?
I would much rather it be that way versus Melody, because when it comes to when it's her and Melody doing it, it looks messy. I don't care what nobody say, it looks messy.
No, I agree. No, listen. I agree. It does look messy for her to go to Melody because, in my opinion, her and Melody are not friends like that. And I think I need to explain what I mean by they're not friends like that, because I felt like I had to when I said it on my review. They're friends, but they're not friends like that. They're not close friends like that. When I say we not friends like that, that's what I mean by we not friends like that. We friends, but we not friends like that. Like if I talk about somebody, like for example, you and Josiah, y'all my friends like that. Y'all are my close friends. Y'all my friends like that. Like I tell y'all a lot of my business. So they're not. So that's what I mean by when I say we're not friends like that. That means we're not best friends, but we're cool. We hang out together, we chat together, we talk on the phone, but we don't tell each other personal business. That's what I mean by they're not friends like that. You know what I mean? And even when I interviewed Kiki, she even stated that they met in college, they were cool, they had friends in common, they were friends, but they're not friends like that. That's what I meant. I knew what I was talking about. I interviewed the girl. The girl said it out of her own damn mouth. And she even said it on her live. Me and Melody are friends, but we're not friends like that for me to be telling her my personal business. She said that on her live. So they're not really that tight like that. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, it does look messy on one hand that she's talking to Melody about it, but her and Tisha aren't cool. They don't fuck with each other, and Tisha probably didn't want to film with her. So in essence, Melody was like, well, we have we have a relationship, so we can talk about it on the show. I'm just giving you, it seemed like you said, it seemed produced. It seemed like, okay, Melody, like, look, girl, come to my house. I'm finna give you a platform so you can tell your story and put it out there on your own. That's what that was. It was, I didn't see that as a conversation amongst friends. I saw that with a cast member and a producer basically saying, yeah, girl, we're gonna set this scene up. We're gonna, because at this point, Melody already knew the tea already. She just set it up for Kiki to put it out there on the show, since she kept talking about my personal business, and nobody knew what her personal business was. So, you know, you can look at it both ways. That was my explanation for it.
Well, I did like that Kiki was able to tell her story about her being addicted to painkillers, because it is a real situation when people do get addicted. And I just applaud her for, you know, being open and honest about that, because I'm pretty sure that story helps somebody else. And somebody who has been through addiction, I think that this is a really good, you know, message for people that are actually going through. So no matter how the message was packaged, who was it told, you know, who the message was told to, I do applaud her for being open and honest.
I agree.
Yeah, and I'm glad she was able to tell it too, because she did tell me back in June when I interviewed her that, you know, she was gonna tell her story and she was gonna reveal what that personal business was. And because, you know, it was different rumors going around about what the personal business was. One minute it was bed bugs and all that other bullshit, and I'm like, girl, it can't be about no bed bugs. She can't still be mad about no fucking bed bugs. Like, she can't be. So I knew it had to be something.
Well, y'all, listen, that's a perfect segue into this situation. The next thing that came up, and we got a guest. He came just in the nick of time.
What up, Joe?
Hello.
What's going on?
What up, Joe?
What's going on,
Scotty by Nature, Josiah.
Hey, what's going on, Mark? How are you?
Obviously I'm not in the woods, so everything must be good in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Are you at work?
Well, you know, my job is usually panhandling, but for today only, I have a real job.
Okay. Well,
you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up, because I would love for you to tell the people a little bit about yourself, because, you know, like you said, they say that you broke and you penniless and you be using and you ain't got no place to stay and all of the rest of this stuff. Like, that's what the people say. So since you brought that up, do you mind telling the people just who you are?
Well, so I'm Mark James Scott III. I'm Maurice and Marceau's older brother. I have a degree in construction project management, and what I do is I manage projects. Actually, if you noticed in your city, Walmart remodels their stores. They're going from the orange, and you start seeing stuff like that. So I am the person who goes in and manages that. I'm the superintendent for Walmart. We average about 40 to 50 Walmarts a year, and that's what I do. I actually for 60 days. With my project, I was trying to get a so I live in the same neighborhood as Micah. So to let you know, I have a house. The other thing is I stayed in the woods for 60 days because I was saving my money to buy a fifth wheel. With my job, I travel a lot and I was tired of staying in hotels. So there's truth to staying in the woods, but I was staying in the woods, saving up my money, and I bought a 2022 Sandpiper luxury fifth wheel, 43 foot. If anybody's in the fifth wheels, they kind of know what I'm saying. I'm not penniless. Have I ever? I've partaken of drugs, but If y'all could see in my debut, I'm way too fat to have addicted to drugs or anything like that. So a lot of those things are not true. It's just one of those things where I think people try to come to you and try to get you to out yourself. And in our community, it happened to Shaq. Shaq went to a dealership and they said he was broken, so he bought $1.3 million worth of cars. I'm not that dude. If I'm penniless, I'm penniless. Will y'all ever see my house? Will you ever see me? No.
Okay. That's what's up.
So
Scotty, what's with the stank face?
I'm just listening.
Oh, okay, on my end it froze. And so I'm like, dang, you can't please nobody. Scotty is tough. I'm thinking I'm finna get the Wanda treatment.
I'm screaming.
I'm just listening.
Yeah, we're definitely going to go ahead and get into that because I have questions myself. But go ahead.
No, I don't. Anybody? I'm here to answer questions.
Go ahead, T. Segue.
So we just was about to segue right into the scene with you and your brothers. Now, I personally want to know, when you came there, did you know what was finna go down? Did you know what they was gonna talk about, or was you blindsided by the conversation?
No. Oh, it was so. So when I got there, they sit me down and they're talking to me because nobody. I mean, I don't even deal with the cast. Is that me? Echoing? Okay, so I get there and I'm sitting with the production and they're like, well, we just want you to talk about check on your brothers and see what happened at the opening with at Meldani and everything, and then just have a conversation with your brothers and basically they were like, do you have anything that I was like, and my whole thing was I don't want to go over there and then y'all try to make me not be able to say nothing. I don't want to be on TV and then I got to sign some NDA and I can't do what I want to do. There's like, absolutely not. We want you on here and you say whatever you want, because that's been my hesitation to ever be public, is that if you go public, then because you're a cast, they're going to say, oh, you can't say this or you can't say that. And it's like, no, we don't want to control you at all. We want you to feel free. And so right before so Maurice and Marcel are already talking, and right before I get up there, I'm standing in the runway like before I walk up, and they're like, production looks over, is like, hey, his shirt. Does anybody know this brand? Is it this brand off brand? Can we? They're like, hey, you got another shirt? And they're like, we don't have another shirt. Can he flip it inside out for us? Will he flip it inside out for us? And I'm like, the shirt says fuck your feelings. And if I'm going to be on here to talk about stuff, I really feel fuck your feelings. And so instead of doing it, instead of just being, hard-headed or making it more difficult for them in editing, I just flipped it inside out and just went with it.
Okay. So Mark,
I'm glad you brought that up because people was bringing that up about your shirt. So I'm glad you cleared that up.
Right. And anybody who knows me, one of the things I think, clothes are expressive. Your clothing is just as expressive as your personality. So like I'm from Pontiac. So I'm rocking a shirt to say I'm from Pontiac. One of my favorite things is shirts that say stuff, and I got 1 million of them. So that's just me.
Go ahead, JoJo.
Okay, Mark. So, I'm trying to. Okay, first of all, I really I'm a new viewer to the show. So, can you just explain to us, can you just break it down? What happened? Can you just give us a breakdown?
Okay. So here's the misunderstanding that I think everybody had. Me and Van, prior to any TV show ever, when they were starting to film, when it was still Holt or No Holtz Barred and all of this stuff, the question was, me and her had the agreement. If you get on TV, let's not talk about what we had, how we did it, whatever the case. Mm-hmm. So and at the time in 2018, I'm still a newbie as well. So Kiowa had done her little filming with Maurice, and she was still in her feelings, and she was like, come on and explain, come on. The way she says is, come on my podcast. I want you to come on my podcast and help me out and explain stuff. So I came to the podcast and I'm talking to her and I'm like, she's like, well, what about Maurice and Kimmy? And I was like, they wasn't together while y'all was together. That never happened. But the way they made it seem like, there's like, was Maurice still married? He might have been. Technically, the ink wasn't dry, but he was out the relationship. And if you go back and you look at it, I was like, Maurice had moved to different states. And so Kimmy was never a side piece. When I me and my wife at the time introduced Maurice and Kimmy, Maurice was done. And if you know your brother, you know when he's done. Anyway, and it was like, well, how you getting all this information? I was like, well, I dated Van. And so it was like, it wasn't a, nobody even knew. I don't even know if she had made scenes other than Melody's mom at the time. You know what I'm saying? So then later, so that's 2018. In 2019, Sade jumps up in my inbox, who is from Straight No Chasers. And she said, hey, hit me in my DMs. And so I hit her. I'm like, what, you want me to be the inside man? Not gonna happen. This is my family. And so she was like, well, what about this sex tape? I was like, first of all, I never said sex tape or nothing. She's like, well, what does Marcel talk about? I said, I guess stuff I may have. I don't know. Because, we were in a relationship. So maybe he assumes or thinks that I have stuff on her. So going fast forward, it was like, well, why don't you drop some tea? I'm like, I'm not dropping no tea. What I'm not going to do is I'm never going to out her until I absolutely have to say what I have to say to benefit me. Later that year, season 2, episode 4, 11:40 seconds in, she drops my name on TV, and I'm about to go ham. It's still too early in the season, so my family was like, chill out, cool out. My sister wrote an apology. I put it out there, and everybody's like, no, you said it, drop receipts. I said I can be respectful and y'all leave me alone, or I can be disrespectful and prove what I'm saying. It's still too early. My family's like, the show is still too new. It ain't caught fire. Don't do what y'all just saw me do. What happened then? Still too new. I hit Van up. I'm like, look, hey, I'm sorry the way I just jumped off like that, but the Van I know doesn't lie like this, because now it's not that you just broke the agreement not to mention me on TV. You are now lying about, like, don't bring it up to lie about it. She could have said anything like, I don't talk about that, market crazy, whatever the case may be. It could have stayed a dead issue, but you bring it up and then you lie, because what turned the back around is now everybody comes back to me, and it's so from the Sade in the beginning of the year to the Van in the end of the year, we ain't talking about it no more. Melody's tweeting in the background, I'm a clout chaser, tell him he the black sheep. Melody is, egging it on. So what I do is, after Van says it, I hit her in the inbox and told her, you should handle this differently. I went radio silence, got out all the groups, stopped watching the show, was just done with it. I'll get every once in a while, hey, Unc, you doing this? Hey, bruh, they got you on TV. They talking about the Coke bottles. They talking about you at the reunion. And I still didn't, I'm like, whatever, let it be. Well, I had also started my podcast. So in my podcast, I'm doing stuff. And this last reunion, Empress Radio comes through, and she takes one of my Instagram shots and said he's still disrespecting Van, and that's what got me back. It was like, oh, okay, y'all. If I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't, you're gonna see what happens when I'm damned if I do.
All right.
So, wait, but no. So I started up. Now, by this time, what people don't know is I got all this information that Mel is doing in the background. So Mel is doing this stuff in the background. Van is doing this stuff in the foreground. What I mean by that is Mel is the one dropping stuff to different radio stations or bloggers and amping them and doing all of this. So then I'm now shooting at the vloggers, Battleship, Emperor Ass, Pure P, all them other ones. I'm like, all right, cool. And people are like, Mark, why don't you just come on and give us a scout perspective? So I'm on doing like on panels with confessions and different people doing panels. And then Van goes and does a world tour talking about my sexuality. I'm like, whoa, killer, you want to talk about my sexuality? Since you want to, the thing is, I got raped when I was in the military. And so I'm traumatized. So, you disclose this to a close personal friend. And so since it's not a relationship, it's a friend. And by the way, it's 7 months for the time I met Van and the time we start doing whatever we did intimately. So it's not about just we met and it's boom. This is grown deep. So when you dismiss it, you have thrown away those 7 months of conversation. You have thrown all those different things that we have put together, and then you throw away all the stuff we did afterwards. Fast forward back to now. So she goes on TV. Mark was questioning sexuality, and I got it from Tisha, and I got it from, and it's like, wait a second, you gonna just put it out there, and now people are like, why is he really going ham? Because if I'm a nobody, you had 5, 6, 7 years, you ain't met another dude. The books, you ain't talking about books, you ain't talking about no other relationships. It's just Mark. So this is all to me I'm gonna use him as publicity. It gets me ticks, it gets me support. And then I'm like, y'all can't see she did this, and then the next thing you know, it's a book out. She did this, and next thing you know, I'm going on tour. She did this, and so I'm like, no, you're not gonna use me, and I don't need to get paid for it. I just need to out the truth so we can dead it. That's all I wanted to do, and so that's where we are today.
T. Scotty, do y'all have any questions for Mark?
When you said that,
Scotty, what you got to
say? When you so when you said, because I want to make sure I got it right. So I heard you say that. Who asked you? Did you talk to Van? Was you dating Van? Who did you tell you dated Van to? I'm trying to make sure I heard it right.
I was talking to Kiowa. And I didn't know Sade was I didn't. So this is like season 1 early, and I didn't know. I wasn't new to IG, so I just I had an IG page, but I don't do nothing like I do now. And so they end up recording it, and so I was like, whoa. When they played it back, there was like, did you say this? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I done been to court, and I know that when that stenographer reads it back, it ain't nothing. You can't say, like, if somebody plays this back, did you say X, Y, Z? Yeah, you own it. You take your accountability. I wasn't saying it to be like Van wasn't. I'm not. I have no problems against who Van is. I have no problems against who she could be. So it wasn't like I'm doing this because she's not the ticket on here that's going to be like, oh, you dated Van, let's bring you up to TV. You dated Van, you're awesome. I mean, there's nothing you get out of saying I dated her.
So this was
I gained. It's just it's us having a conversation right now.
No, not right now. I'm saying when you mentioned that you dated her, I'm trying to make sure I get it right before I go into the next question. Because you said you was having a conversation with Kiowa and the girl that wound up being a blogger. So where was this conversation had at for her to record you?
No. I had the conversation on IG with Kiowa. Sade was recording it. Sade turned around and either took it to Melody, and then that's when they came up with the whole clout chaser, black sheep of the family. Now, after that, Tony Jenkins Entertainment was like, hey, we just want to get more information on you. I'm talking to her, not knowing she was Melody's camp. I thought she was just like people. It was a black show. I'm thinking people want to see what black people do and how we're family and stuff. I didn't grow up watching reality TV. I didn't watch all of that. I had stuff to do. So this is a lot of what happened in 2019 and 2020, 2018, 2019, 2020 is a fan who now gets close to it and now has to realize the things I say, the impact it has. So when I said what I said about, I don't think Kimmy was divorced. Oh, she was a side chick. That's not what I meant. I mean, he was done, but just like Martell and Melody, the relationship it wasn't fully legally dissolved, but it was dissolved. And so it was errors like that I had made. And I realized saying I dated Van was an error. It was just like conversation.
So in so many words, you was having a conversation on Instagram Live with Kiowa and this chick, and you didn't know she was recording it. Did you know she was okay? So in so many words, would you say or agree that this pretty much started with you saying it in public? Because regardless of whether or not you knew that she recorded it or not, you still said it publicly first before it ever made it to the show. So would you say that it started with you?
No, I had told me and Van, people knew we was out. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't that's what I'm saying. It's not a start. What started was the rumors that they added to it. That's what I'm saying. What started it? So me saying I dated Van turned into somehow Marceau or me saying that we had a sex tape on Van. So the rumor mill changed it from a regular conversation into a topic. You see what I'm saying? It's the mention of a sex tape or the possible sex to it that made it amped it up.
Okay, T, you next. I have more questions in a little bit. Go ahead, T.
So let me ask you this, Mark, because this whole blackout situation, from what I've been seeing and hearing, and from what people have been telling me, was that the reasoning for it was behind the disrespect of black women coming from you as it pertains to your social media and things that you have said and laughs that you have done and so on and so and so about Melody and Miss Vanessa. So I want to know, how do you feel about people, basically turning this into the disrespect, and so because of which they're not going to watch and so and so and so?
So your question to me would be, how do I feel about people who stop watching the show because they think I'm disrespectful?
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Okay.
They're saying is you're the reason why this is happening.
I think. Okay, and so this is what I think people forget. I think people forget that women or people don't have to take disrespect. Gender neutral. No gender, no binary code, no nothing. People don't have to take respect. And so for years, what I believe and what I have felt is I have felt that women authorize and unionize and support and strategize against men, and they almost cheer or celebrate when you can disrespect a man. One of the things I heard a lot is, I don't know where men talk to women like this, but y'all know where women talk to men like this. When you get the women who do this to dudes, or you all up in his face and you say stuff and you say, and I dare you, and you better not hit me. So the problem is, psychology will tell us that women hit with their words and men hit with their fists. And so the problem is what we want and what we have done in the community is we have bullied men with our words and then dared men to speak back up on it or to defend themselves. And when the men do defend themselves, we are Kevin Samuels, we're Mitches, we got low vibration energy, we all kind of stuff. You can't even speak your piece because I'm a man. So basically, well, I'm a woman, I get to say, and I'm a man. And I don't know, and to any woman who is watching it, y'all don't have a corner on the market on emotions. Y'all don't get to corner that. You don't get to say, hey, she gets to disrespect you, and the manly thing to do is take it. That's like saying somebody gets to be racist to me, and the ethically or the real proud moment of being in my minority culture is to walk away from it. No, ma'am. No, sir. If you cross this line, first of all, I'm going to let you know where the line is crossed so that you don't cross it again. But if you should so happen to be a habitual line stepper, what I'm going to do, what my job is to do, is to unleash these words, these rounds, so you understand that there's no trespassing on my feelings. And for me, when there's no respect for me, then I have no respect for you. If you have respect for me and I disrespect you, then that's disrespect. But she didn't have respect for our agreement. She didn't have respect for the truth or none of that. So that's not Mark disrespecting them. It's me just not respecting them.
Okay. Go ahead, Josiah.
Oh, this was a lot. I totally get where you're coming from, and where you know, like, I get you have to defend yourself, but like, I did like look at your Instagram, and you really do be going ham. And do you feel like that sometimes, like, I get it, like, people, you know, say things about you, but do you feel like the way how you respond to certain things, or certain things that people say warranted the response that you give?
And so I think this is the problem that most people didn't get. I asked to be left alone. My family, if you go back and look in the original, there's like, don't poke the bear, leave him alone. Because, and I will say this to anybody, I'm not trying to fight fair. I'm not trying to fight like in the bounds. I'll say this, I have this thing that if a man slaps me, if a grown man slaps me, he's going to have to fight me every day. And if I can't beat him, I will follow his kids to school. And if I can't beat them, I'll follow his grandkids to school. There are certain things I'm just not going to do, so I don't do them. I don't go after people. I don't attack people. I don't talk about people because I don't know how their reach is. I don't know how. It's like saying, I hit you with my fist. Now you can only hit me back with a fist. No, she hit me on national TV. I'm going to show you. And I'm saying this because, let me pat me on the back, because I'm real pressure. Real pressure got me to the stage to be able to say what I wanted to say on the same stage you said. And that's why I did it. What we're going to do is I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep doing this until they say, well, let's just give him a microphone. And so I really wanted to sit down with Van and had a face-to-face so she could just apologize. So she could just explain how she may have misunderstood. But what it was not going to be is what people say is, I think what people, they understand the principle, they just don't like the method. But the problem is if you don't if you make the bed, you lie in it. If you can't handle the heat, stay out the kitchen. I mean, there is some of these things are simple. You cannot tell people that that's too much. I like my heat hot.
Mark, I feel like that, you know, with you speaking this and everything is from a place of hurt from the whole situation. I feel like that you are like, what?
I want you to pick me. I wanted to answer that real quick because I can.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's my way of interrupting you without just jumping on. I got something for that.
Okay.
I did some actions in my younger years and I got a felony. I crapped on my name. I have done things and been in bad situations. I filed bankruptcy. I crapped on me. But then I started working real hard to rebuild me. And so this is not a hurt situation. This is what the way the world sees me, the way the world was seeing me is Mark is a liar. Imagine working real hard to get your platform up, and then somebody said you was really stealing something from somebody else, and you could prove that you didn't steal. That's basically what it is. It's not me hurt. The relationship has been over 7 years. It was over for years before she even went over TV. Patricia's my ex-wife. I don't be hurt when she on there. I actually had a relationship, a marriage that had to be dissolved with her, and me and her don't have problems. So it's not hurt. It's a level of disrespect. Patricia doesn't mention me when she goes on. I don't talk about Patricia. That is a level of respect that is dead, gone, over, let it be. It's the same thing I wanted from Van. So this is not hurt. This is not, I think most people have the lowest level of human feeling is that, oh, you just hurt. But you can't see that I have something to protect. I'm the last Mark Scott. I have 2 daughters. There won't be another Mark Scott. So when I say my name has to look a certain way, to me, it's to me. Y'all, nobody can step in my shoes and say, oh, you hurt. I'm mad. I'm mad that you violated my trust. I'm mad that you betrayed it. And I'm mad that you are lying about it. That it's not hurt.
Okay. So when you say, okay, because my head is spinning. Okay, so it's a couple of things that I got. The first thing is, one of the first things are, you feel like you're saying that you're defending yourself because you feel disrespected. But I'm trying to understand where's the disrespect, because it just goes back to what I said before. You mentioned it on the Instagram live at first. And I think it comes across like you said, you agreed not to put it. Just let me finish real quick. I'll let you correct me, but just let me finish for a second. It comes across that way. Then when you look at the show, it's like the person that really brought you up first on the show is Marceau. So it's like, why you don't have that heat for Marceau that you got for Van? Because I never really heard her mention you besides when they mentioned it at the reunion. And she didn't really say anything negative at first, besides the fact that y'all were just friends. So what are you looking for? Are you looking for her to claim the whatever it was, or what is it? Because I'm trying to understand.
Okay, so if I understand, is you're saying that it looks like Marceau did more damage than Van, and am I looking for Van to acknowledge that we have? Okay, season 2, episode 4, Van starts talking about it. Melody and Van bring my name up. Here's the thing I'm saying. If it's so unimpactful and so untrue, she at that point doesn't have to mention it on TV. She starts off the scene by saying, Marceau said some stuff that's untrue. I'm not even going to entertain it. Would have been the next line. But that's not the next line. The next line is, I dated Mark. Mark and I weren't dated. We were just friends. That's unnecessary. The part is, I think this is what we want. I think this is what we want as a fan base. We want Van to have said some negative words. And we don't think that the sheer nature of me and her agreeing not to talk about it on TV is betrayal. Betrayal is disrespectful to our friendship. That's enough disrespect. You don't have to cuss me out if you're my friend and you betray me.
But I'm saying, how did she? My thing is, how did she betray you when she didn't mention it at all on the show at first? Your brother did. So how did she betray you? Because once it's on the show, it's a discussion. I'm really trying to understand.
I'm telling you who brought it up first. I'm saying who brought it up first. Season 2, Marshall didn't even talk about it. This is what we're not getting is season 2, episode 4 is the first mention of me even on TV. It's the first day. It's not even Marceau's brother. It's my name. That's what I'm saying. Marceau hasn't said nothing about it on TV. Then Melody, when she goes to Black, she talks to Marceau about the sex tape. I'm saying, y'all, we're missing the sequence, and we're trying to say we're getting to what they're doing. And the thing is this is why I'm not mad at Marceau. They're trying to give context to it. Marceau, the whole cast is trying to give context and validity to Van. It's not a friendship. It's a relationship. You're downplaying it on TV because of whatever reason you want to now, but then you were in it as a relationship. Let me if I will play it back and I will give it to everybody back this way. If it's just a friendship, and let's just say I sent her the pictures of the Coke bottle Vanessa Scott, why would you turn and send it to Tisha as anything? If it's just a friendship, why would you want it out any more than just between me and you? I'll wait.
T, you next.
Because then it wasn't a problem. The thing is this: what I'm looking at, this is where I'm saying, her violating the agreement we have is the disrespect. Then the disrespect turns more into then you lie about it. The disrespect is not the words you got to say to me. It's the lie. It is the lie and it's the betrayal. Everybody by now knows we were in something. Whether I confused it, whether she confused it, whether it's still confused, who cares? Don't do it and we don't have this problem. And if you do it, don't lie and we don't have this problem. I don't see how we can't look at those two things.
All right, T, you next.
So what can Miss Vanessa do at this point to rectify the situation in your eyes?
Respectfully fuck off. I don't need nothing from her. That's what I'm saying. It was buried back in 2019. Don't use it no more. I guess that's the problem that we not seeing. Our last conversation was it's nothing. I don't give a damn if they came up and say I had a baby with you. Don't mention it. If it's not that important to you and it's irrelevant as you say, then don't talk about it. That's what I'm saying. I don't see how people don't see. I'm minding my business. I didn't make her put it on TV. I didn't make her, after we talked about it on social. Marceau has allegedly had a baby with Tisha's cousin. That didn't make it to TV. Marceau having his back out at a hotel. That doesn't make it to TV. Let me see some of the other things. Martell having robbed the ATM. That never made it to TV. Melody and her daddy issues. That never made. We got all of this stuff that never makes it to TV. How come Mark's stuff got to make it to TV? And it's not just why it makes it to TV. If we had cognitive fans who could really think and understand and say, oh, y'all saw it two different ways, blah, blah, blah. That's not what fans do. I get stuff, you're a pathetic man wanting that woman to claim you. I wouldn't want her to claim me either. I mean, so what? I don't go to her platform. I'm not in her inbox and her DMs. Leave it the hell alone. That's been the question. If y'all believe her, leave it alone. Leave me alone. But then when I clap back, everybody, you're so disrespectful.
My thing is,
they're trying to bully me off the internet. I'm not going.
My thing about it is, you also have to look at the way it comes across. On the outside looking in, it does look like you're angry or you're upset because you feel like she's not owning it in a sense. And by you going live and posting stuff every other day on your social media, I'm not one to tell you what to do with your social media. You can do whatever you like with it. But I'm just saying, I can understand why people may think a certain type of way about it because of the way that you have presented it on social media. I'm just telling you.
That's the absolute truth. No. I don't disagree. I did that. I intentionally disrespected them or no respect them. I don't have respect for people who lie. And so people can judge me. And again, I'm going to say it. They don't like the method in which I do it. You don't like the method in the way I defend Mark Scott. But but at the end of the day, just don't lie on me. At the end of the day, if you don't lie on me, I don't have a defense. I don't need to
exactly. So what's the lie exactly? I'm sorry, Josiah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Scotty. Go ahead.
What's exactly the lie? What exactly did Van say that was a lie? The fact that y'all were friends?
Okay. I put out the fact that I put out on October 12th. I dated the whole conversation. I dropped the last text message we had, and it says, I dropped it, and I said I'm not going to speak about it no more. This is totally after the show. So we taped in, let's just say June and July. I didn't post nothing from June or July. She goes on and does an interview questioning my sexuality, which I go on, and that's when it's like, okay, if you can't let it go, then I'm not going to let it go. Then I go ham. I go ham from there until October 12th when I dropped the receipt, and I said, I'm not talking about it no more. I haven't. I literally have not said anything before October 12th. Oh, I went in because that's the season where everybody's like me and Mark, he was moving too fast. Can't nobody be moving too fast if it doesn't exist, but it exists. And so you're trying to make it seem like it doesn't exist. And what I'm doing right now is I'm going to my phone to get the last receipt, but I ain't even got to do that. I can kind of remember it. She says, Mark, you're the last person I'm intimate with. That relationship is over. Let's work on our relationship. Those two things right there let you know right there it's a lie. That's why I put it out there. I didn't want to put that out there. I wanted her to just say, hey y'all, I got it confused. Hey y'all, me and Mark are cool. Hey y'all, it's none of y'all business. Leave me and Mark alone. That's not what has happened at any of these points. At any of these times, Van, I want her to take accountability, and I want the fans to hold her accountable for lying. Is that going to happen? Not going to happen. Do I give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. So it's like, Mark, keep defending why you are justified in this. But let's not even acknowledge that somebody may have done something on a larger platform than you could have ever said it. Go watch her live with Lulu. She did a live with another blogger, and literally like, Mark was struggling with himself. Mark is not necessarily a topic. If you keep saying I'm nothing, Van, why keep doing interviews and me being any type of baseline or storyline to it? You ain't done nothing. You ain't met nobody else. Can y'all see that? Like, I don't get it. I don't see how people can't see, like, dang, maybe she has nobody else to talk about but Mark. And if you go and look at anything, I've said, hey, look, I'm not going to out her unless I have to. Do you have a sex tape? I'm not going to answer that. I'm just not going to out her unless I have to. That's all I'm saying. I've literally said I'm going to respect her I'm going to be respectfully disrespectful until I can't do it anymore.
Josiah T.
My bad. I'm here. I'm just trying to soak it all in. For me, first of all, I don't run the gambit to sit up here and try to tell how anybody needs to respond. All right, because I'm the first one. Somebody get up here and say something to me, they plastered all on my community wall. So I can't sit up here in good conscience to say this and say that. But what I can say is, and this is just me. I mean, I do feel like you have the right to come up here and defend yourself, however, like I say, however defending yourself may look, or however it may seem or sound, or whatever the case may be. But if Miss Van decides to respond to this, would you come back and then make a rebuttal to her response, or would you just let her response be her response?
Her response here, this is the way I feel. And this is to me is much Van has a healing that I think she has to go through. I think Van has a reputation she has to save, and I think she has an obligation to her fans and her faith that warrants some accountability. If she were to come up here and say, Mark is lying, Mark is doing all of this, I have the wherewithal in me to honor the word I said when I said I won't talk about her anymore. The discipline that I have within myself is I did what I did. I did it how I did it, and it's done. For me, it is finished. As of October 12th, it is finished. I haven't posted a picture. I've commented to people talking to me about it, and now I need mental help and all of that. But for me, for Mark James Scott III and Mark James St. Patrick, we have both decided that whatever Van did is evidence and is anecdotal for me to be able to teach others how to not be toxic, how to respond in integrity, how to go on being loving, how to draw borders, and how to own your life. That's it. I own my life. I own the part that I said before. I own my part during, and I'm gonna own the part after. And that's, I think she gave me. It was I don't know. I think it was Carlos from Wild 'N Out. He said sometimes the devil will bless you. I've been looking at this as a bad thing, and it might just be a public humility and public shaming that allows people to see, damn, women do this. We do need to hold women accountable. It may be our women who are destroying our black men in our community. It may be the women, and that's what I'm gonna use. That's what I'm looking at.
Mark, do you take any responsibility for this whole situation? Like, I'm gonna be honest. I just feel like that you're not taking responsibility at all.
I said so. You don't hear me saying I intentionally don't respect her. I did that. I don't know how. I don't.
But the way how you respond to her,
I respond nasty. I respond,
and that's
nasty.
Why people say what they say. That's why people say what they say.
So then don't fight me.
They don't like you because you respond. You just set up. You just sat here and said. You just sat up here and said that you respond nasty. You sat up here and said that you don't give a fuck. You said that you don't respect her. So if that's the case, and we ain't saying you got to, but don't be surprised when people feel the way that they feel. Don't be surprised when people don't like you because of the way that you respond. It comes across misogynist. That's how it comes across. I'm sorry. I have to say that.
It comes across misogynist, right? But I take that, and what I'm saying, it comes across misogynist because we don't recognize the fact that the okay. Let's say this. Let's just use this example. If I was married to a woman and she cheated on me, is that misogynist? No. But if I cheat back and then she outs me cheating, does it look misogynist? What I'm saying is we're not looking at this is the throw the stone. And now when I respond, oh, you look misogynist. I don't disagree. I don't disagree that it looks bad. I said, people understand defending yourself. They don't like the method, the way I defend me. That's me owning it, Josiah. I'm saying I'm a United States Marine. I'm not here to fight fair. I'm here to fight and win. My job is to get the truth out. Whatever it takes to get the truth out, that's what I did. So what we're saying is what we have is a society of men who either don't tell the truth, like Martell, until he starts wanting to tell it, then like, oh, it looks like an excuse. Or we have a Mark who tells it at the same time and it looks disrespectful. What we don't have is a society saying somebody's doing something for people to act like this. What we keep trying to do in a society is make it seem like men don't have any causes or aren't provoked or aren't abused or aren't manipulated or they don't run into narcissistic women. Y'all make it seem like it's only men. I have seen them attack y'all on the stage for having your opinions. You get to have your opinions. One of the things that I've been doing when I come and support y'all is I watch how women treat y'all. I watch how women treat y'all for having opinions. They don't treat us different. I remember when T said he first wanted to interview me. He was on Josiah's platform. He said, we ain't gonna do that because they will boycott you. They will do you dirty for having your own opinion. And it's not fair. The thing that I want us to look at is not how I did it. It's the fact that it has to be done because women constantly bully men. And because here's the problem, y'all can't really agree. Y'all can't agree with me and y'all can't side with me because your base is women. And if you stand up and if you're Kevin Samuels and if you're in the manosphere, then you will lose your base. But I don't have a base. My base is going to be based on truth.
Wait a minute.
No, that's not the case.
That's not the case at all.
All right.
Now, I feel like you cannot speak for neither one of us. Us not agreeing with you don't have anything to do with what
for you.
I'm
saying from what I see.
No further questions, Your Honor. Go ahead, T. I have nothing else.
Listen. I wanted this. Listen, no, seriously, I wanted this to happen because I do feel like people should have a space to say how they feel about a situation or whatever the case may be. We can agree to disagree respectfully without it being, a whole shebang. I appreciate the conversation because at the end of the day, this is conversation with men. It doesn't matter the fact that Mark is straight and me and we gay or bisexual or whatever. It doesn't matter. We're all men. So I respect the fact that we can sit down and have a healthy debate as men. And it could be just that. You know what I mean? So I totally do appreciate that. So with that having
T, can I say one thing before you kick me off? Last week you said it. Matter of fact, you said it in one of your reviews this week. You said if we can bring up all the information on the Scots, and we can drag Wanda, and we can do Desi and Coastline, we can do that. Then how come we can't do these two? And that's where I'm saying the bias is that if she did something, do we hold her accountable? I'm holding her accountable from my position, from where I am. I'm not going to go on her platform. I'm not going to start videos and dog her out. If you even look at the video I put on YouTube, I didn't dog her. I said what the story is, and that's it. I think the problem is, like I said, I think because we're not used to men sticking up for themselves or doing it how I did it or whatever, then we don't believe it. But I'm ready for the verdict, Judge.
All right. Well, listen, all I'm going to say to you is this. Before I let you go, because I'm not going to make this real long. It's already over an hour. But I do want to know, what do you want people to get from this live right here? Because I know people are going to take this and spin their own narratives or whatever the case may be. I want you to say exactly what do you want people to gain or get from this live right here? What do you want people to walk away from this situation?
From this situation, and I'm gonna do it on my podcast and keep doing it. I think we need to, one, wake up. In order for narcissistic and toxic people to stop, we have to hold them accountable. We have to also first look into ourselves and see the narcissistic toxic behavior from ourselves and start to try to detox. Then we have to look at others that are in our circle who don't have accountability or have integrity and start to reprimand them, either with our distance or by, calling a spade or a thing, and doing that. And then I think at the end of the day, I think we need to have a conversation where we learn to accept that maybe you're not getting all the information, accept your responsibility when you do get in the information, and then to try to maximize your efforts to induce change. And for me, that would be the conversation. How can we take situations where we, as a community, stop blaming everybody else for things that are done to us, do it for ourselves, and then hold the people around us accountable?
I appreciate that. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you for coming up here, Mark. I do.
Not a problem.
All right, bye, Mark.
Bye, Scotty.
All right, Mark. Appreciate you, man.
Because you don't speak when you're mad.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus.
I'm screaming.
God, Jesus.
All right, you guys.
That was a lot. T, bitch, you owe me because
listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. All right. People names was brought up and all the rest of that stuff, and whatever the case may be. And I wanted him to have a chance to say whatever it is he got to say. All right. Everybody deserves a chance to say what they got to say. All right, JoJo. Okay, Scotty. I appreciate y'all for writing. I love y'all for that. Thank y'all. Okay. I thought y'all said y'all weren't gonna be here, but it's over 571 of y'all. It exceeded what me and Scotty said the numbers was gonna be.
I'm about to go to the daiquiri shop right now. I need me a daiquiri. I know the liquor store about to close. I'm about to go to the liquor store and get me some tequila. I don't even drink during the week like that, but I need me a drink ASAP. Scotty, what you got to say? Because baby, your facial expressions.
How easy, Scotty? Because your face was killing me. I took a couple screenshots. Your face was killing me. I said, look, I can't. That's why I was back here quiet. I'm just going to ask questions and I'm going to let him say what he has to say.
Okay, first of all, let me address some of these people in this comment section.
Oh, child.
First of all, ain't nobody biased. Ain't nobody no damn band fan, child. I like this band. This was me being absolutely and positively professional. And there's this chick in this chat that gave a super chat talking about he handled us. No one handled me, sweetheart. Nobody handled me at all. I gave it just as well as he gave it. Okay. Nobody handled me. So don't ever in your life feel like anybody checked me or handled me. Because whatever I've ever had to say, I said it while they was up here, just like I did him. Now he was saying a whole lot, and there was a lot that he said, and my head was spinning. You know what I'm saying? So it was to the point to where I was done talking because I was getting irritated. So that's why I kept it very short, because I wasn't gonna disrespect him because we never disrespect nobody that we have on our platform. So I wasn't gonna do that.
Platform.
So I kept my composure because a lot of the things that he said, I definitely didn't agree with it, which is why towards the end you kind of saw me losing it when I called him misogynistic and stuff like that. You kind of saw me lose it just a little bit, but I wasn't gonna do him like that because he's a guest on the platform. But I let my faces do all the talking. I didn't have to say anything.
This is basically a professional platform.
It's a professional platform.
I would never disrespect a guest.
So I wasn't going to disrespect him, regardless of what I felt about the things that he said. I wasn't going to disrespect him. And I kept my promise to you guys that I would hold him accountable for the things that he was doing. And I feel like I did. I didn't get to do it the way I wanted to, but I feel like I did my due diligence. And
listen,
that's just that. So it is what it is. So whatever female that is that's in this chat that want to suck his dick from sun up to sundown, I don't know who it is, but whoever you are, child, don't do it.
Listen, I feel like this. Ain't nobody check nobody. We were up here talking like men. We asked questions. He gave his perspective. We gave a rebuttal. We did a small little yang around the courtroom, and it was what it was. It won't none of that, y'all. We was talking. All right, we was talking. That's all this was. We was talking. Okay, I let him do most of the talking, but we was talking. All right, so I don't want nobody walking away from here feeling like this was. Don't turn this into that. All right, don't turn this into that.
And Lucky 25, you can say I was doing the most for whatever reason you want to say I was doing the most for, because I wasn't doing the most. You're not in my position. I'm sitting here trying to conduct an interview and I'm not understanding what he's talking about. And I feel like my questions are not being answered. So what you saw was a bit of frustration and confusion. That's what you saw. I wasn't doing the most. I was frustrated and confused and trying to keep my composure and be professional about it. So if you want to call it doing the most, then I was doing the motherfucking most.
Friend, it's okay. It's okay. Y'all, at the end of the day, I'm glad that Mark got a chance to say what he needed to say. I definitely did not agree with a lot of things he had to say. And sometimes when you do interviews, you do have to hold that person accountable, and that's okay at the end of the day. But this was an interesting interview.
Well, listen, it was over 670, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, bitch. I thought y'all were gonna be. Child, girl, Loretta want to come up here. Y'all want to bring Loretta ass up here?
Who really be?
Child, yeah, girl.
Okay, you can.
All right, Loretta, I'm finna let you through the gate, sir. I'm about to sick the dogs out. Don't worry about it. Child.
Oh, let me.
There you go, sis.
Because I'm gonna end up like losing my
Yeah, I'm gonna go off camera too.
Where really be at?
You coming?
Cause it's a bunch of pygmies that want to put their mouth on a Scott's dick right now. So I'm gonna be quiet.
Scotty, don't mind those comments, please don't.
I'ma shut up.
Here she go.
I'll come back when she comes.
Can y'all hear me? Can you see me?
Hey, Really B.
Hey, fellas. So
hey,
first,
sis.
Hey, so first of all, I just want to say,
I hope you ain't have a hard time. I told the dogs to chill out and all that, so I hope you got in good.
They like me. I know. They like me. They know the sound of my voice. They let me right on through. You ain't never got to worry about me getting in. Listen, I came up here because this is what I was gonna say, and I'm about to be mama. I'm about to be mama right now. What I was gonna say was, y'all had a great show. Y'all did an interview. You had
Let me get my
600. You had 600 people in your chat, whether they was here to like or whether they was here to hate. They was here. You got your click. You got your view. People can walk away with whatever opinion they want to walk away with. You can't control what your guests say. You can only give them a platform to give their opinion and share what they need to share. And if people have a problem with that, then we're in a place called America where they can click the fuck off. Okay? If y'all had a problem with the things that Mark was saying, you ain't have to be here. If y'all had a problem with the way they were conducting the interview, you didn't have to be here. I think you guys did a really good job. Mark is not the easiest person to carry a conversation with. And I think that y'all did a good job of holding him accountable, asking him the hard questions, and still remaining respectful. I don't think anybody came for anybody. I don't. I just think it was like Tara said, it was a conversation had by men. Scotty, don't let these people get you off your square. But don't let these people get you off your square. Y'all had a good show.
Yeah, friend. We did what we had to do. It was a really honest, open conversation. You know, not everybody is going to agree with each other, and that's okay.
Exactly. And people need to do a better job of realizing that we don't all have to agree. Yeah, I'm really, girl, bye then. Dr. Love, you can go. Like, if you have a problem, why are you here? I just don't understand. But neither here nor there. I'll block you when I get back in the chat. It's cool. But at the end of the day, the reason why I came up here, and I'm not going to stay long, but I just wanted to before it went, left. Scotty, don't let these people get you off your square.
I ain't saying nothing about these pick me ass
like that. Exactly. So listen, it was a good live. It was a good interview. You knew it was going to be challenging. Y'all knew it was going to be a challenging situation. You did it, and that's it, and it's over.
This is my frustration. Can I just get that off?
Yes,
this
boo,
is
get
my
it
frustration with this whole thing. First of all, I can't even get it out. First of all, we have gotten a lot of shit for doing this. Let's put that on the table. We have gotten a lot of shit for doing this. Okay? A lot of it. Number two, we sat there and we interviewed him. And I didn't disrespect that man not one time. So my thing about this is, if it doesn't matter if I was looking a certain type of way. That's what my facial expression gives. If I feel like it's bullshit, you're gonna see it on my face. And if that's unprofessional, then that's just what the fuck it's gonna be. So
get a lot of
it was difficult it was difficult to do this. You got to understand, this was difficult to do this. It was hard to do this. It was frustrating to do this.
It's easy and stuff, but it was a lot, y'all. It was like I said, we just found out last night that it was people trying to boycott the damn channel. Like I said, some folks was looking for me. Like all of that was new to me and Scotty. So it's like been a lot going on behind the scenes behind this shit.
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, so y'all, go have y'all drink. Go do what y'all do, and know you did a good job, and it is what it is, and y'all move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? You move on to the next one. Let these people dwell in their hatred and their excessive feelings about, like, I'll never understand people getting this excited about motherfuckers they don't know. Like, I don't understand.
What's good, y'all?
I just want to say this right quick because I don't want to be up here long because y'all doing y'all thing. But one thing that did kind of disturb me just a bit is y'all know I'm a veteran. So when he spoke about something that happened to him while he was in the service and that whole thing, I did see people clowning him about that. And that made me feel away. Only because it's one of those things where if you've never been through it, not to say you can't comment, but you don't know what that thing is. And for him to speak on it saying that that was a weapon used against him, whether that is or isn't true, that made me feel a way that it's like we're going to rain down on him. Now, that is not to excuse any of his behavior. Because I clearly stated on my review, if y'all watch it, where he said he did that thing with Kaiwa. Whether he knew this was being recorded or not, whatever the case may be, you started it first. And that's what this whole thing started. But to sit here and try to diminish what happened to him or try to victimize him, whether it be Van or anybody else, is not cool. But outside of that, the only other thing that I want to say is this. When it comes to all of us, because I am a moderator over here, is that whether you like a person or not, we do have to be respectful to a certain extent and allow a person to say what they want to say. And even if you have an opposing argument, there's a way that you can put it in the comments without being disrespectful. Because let's be honest, a lot of us YouTubers, now Scotty is the biggest amongst all of us up here right now, but if somebody is here for an interview and they can see in the comments that people are being nasty, not disagreeable, but nasty, that could prevent other people from coming over here to want to do an interview. So it's just be respectful while y'all, like, you cannot agree with the person. Because there was people talking about how his shirt was nasty, had KFC on this and the third. If that's armed at you, I ain't say your name, but it is what it is. But if he was watching the comments, which he was, he could have easily clicked off. So it's the whole thing of you can disagree, but just be respectful. Because what y'all might do is if other people see that, oh, Terrence had this person over here and they're raining down on him, I won't come over here for an interview, or I won't reach out to Josiah. Y'all know I don't fuck with Josiah like that, but I won't reach out to him or Scotty. Don't do that. That's it.
Oh, wait. You always got to throw in shade, child.
I said what I said, so I'm gonna drop off and go back in the comments. Love you. Y'all have a blessed night. Bye.
Thank you, y'all. Child. Well, listen, like I said, I don't want nobody walking away from here feeling no types of way about me, Scotty, JoJo, none of that. Don't hold nobody accountable to the flame. We had an interview. We had a conversation. We talked like men. He said what he had to say. It was all good. Ain't nobody get cussed out. Ain't nobody get thewed out worse than the Atlanta Hillbilly did from Bank of America when it came right there and took her down. It won't none of that. Like, we was all good in the hood. So don't turn this into that. Okay.
Thank you, Miss B's Corner, because we literally said that before we came on here. We literally said that. Literally said that.
Child. But I'm gonna drop now too. But I just wanted to come up here because, you know, I just had to say my 2 cents. But congratulations, fellas. I'm dropping off and I'm about to go have me a drink because I do need one after that interview. But I'm about to go do that. Well, I'm lying. But anyway, I will talk to y'all later.
Bye, Really B.
Bye, Really B. And another thing that I also want to say before we really like close this out is the name of the show is called Roast and Review. So my shady ass faces is a part of the package. This is not the prelude with Scotty and Jamar, but we got to be completely professional. Like, we got to keep a stone face on. This is Roast and Review.
So that means that we can be, you know, ourselves on here. This is home for us.
I mean, like, this is not, you know, this is not the prelude. This is Roasted Review. Like, if this was the prelude, I would have had a stone face, or I would have tried to, because baby. Anyway, I would have tried to. But this is Roasted Review, and I had to. It is what it is, but you know. But like I said, I wasn't expecting. As a matter of fact, Josiah was asleep when me and T had our phone conversation, because it was supposed to be us 3 on the phone before we came up. So me and T was talking, and I said, due to the fact I'm not trying to clean up anything, Nate 5. What are you talking about? I'm not cleaning up anything. I own it. I was shady as the fuck up here because I didn't understand what he was talking about. So no, it's not cleaning it up at all. So please don't. No. But the thing of it is, what was I at? Oh, shit. Oh, we was on the phone, and due to all the shit that we have gotten over the last couple of days, because he was coming on the show, like people going into other folks' platforms saying that they gonna boycott our channel, people saying that, you know, people actually unsubscribed from me this morning. I lost like 15, 16 people this morning after I did my live about the whole blackout situation. You know what I'm saying? People had unsubscribed and all that stuff, mainly because of this whole situation with us interviewing him. And of course I got it back tenfold. I mean, I got 50 or 60 new subscribers off of another live that I did. But the thing of it is, it's just like we got a lot of shit for it. So we came into this on edge. We came into this nervous. We came into this feeling away because we were already we was already, you know, getting it. You know, we was already amped before we got up here. Like, especially Josiah and I. We kept talking about oh, don't worry about it, Sharice. I got them back. I got 50 or 60 more subs today. So I'm child, the ones that I lost, I gained them back plus more. But you know, me and Josiah more so than anything, because we talked to T about it, and we was like, listen, I don't know. Like we was nervous before going into this. So we came in kind of amped because we didn't know what to expect from it. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like you know, we got a lot of shit for it. So when we was on the phone earlier before we went on air, I said, well, I only expect like 200 people to come up in here, because the way they've been talking, they've been saying, no, we not watching, we not supporting this bullshit. Y'all gonna have Mark up here just so he can drag Melody in because y'all don't like Melody and blah 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 blah. But then we got 600 people up in here, and I'm like, but I thought y'all wasn't watching it. It's so confusing.
Listen, I don't care about people not, you know, agreeing with everything that we say or whatever, but don't go to boycotting channels. Like, we not doing that to the people that do whole lives about the Scots and their whole channel is about the Scots and stuff like that. We not running around there doing that. Listen, I refer y'all to people that go up for Melody. Like, Hey Girl Hey and Sassy TV and Empress Radio. Like, we cool with them. And I send y'all right to them. I don't tell y'all don't go around there to do this, do that, or boycott their channel because they go after Melody and they don't see no wrong in her. So it's like, why would y'all want to do that with us when we don't do that with other people? Like, I don't get the logic in that.
Yeah, we don't never try to steer nobody away from nobody else's platform. We don't go around to other platforms telling people to, you know, unsubscribe. Ain't I a mod on this channel, T? Let me
Yeah, it's a few mods in here.
Yeah, you timed out. You timed out, Mama Joyce. You timed out, Mama Joyce. You timed out.
But Joyce, that came around here.
You timed out. You timed out. You timed out. You know. You timed out. But who else is this? Because somebody else talking about I need to go. Let me see. I need to go. You finna go. You know what, T? Let me not do this in your chat.
Girl, look,
I'm real petty tonight. I'm real petty tonight.
Don't you do that. Friend. Don't you do that, friend. Friend, when you get soft. I know you lying. Say what you gotta say.
I ain't soft. I'm just annoyed tonight. Like I'm annoyed tonight. Okay, period. Who is this child in this? Talking about I'm frazzled and sensitive. I ain't sensitive. You gotta understand, this is some frustrating ass shit.
Thank you.
It was a lot. It was a lot. The tension was, you can cut the tension with a knife.
This was some frustrating shit. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. This was frustrating because it was tense for us before we even did this, just due to the fact of all the shit we have been taking over this. Like, that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. It was tense before we even came up here. Like, we was dreading it. Like, oh my God, we're gonna get ate up for this. Like, that's all we kept saying. We're gonna get ate up for this. We're gonna get ate up for this. We're gonna get ate up.
And we probably still are. It's probably still gonna be people who gonna get up here and say that we ain't say this and we ain't say that and we ain't hold him accountable for this and we ain't hold. I'm telling you, that's gonna happen in the comments eventually. Watch what I tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know what more accountability we supposed to give.
Exactly.
Well, like I said, JoJo and Scotty, I'm sorry I got y'all involved in this foolishness. I ain't mean to get y'all all up and tangled up in oh boy. I really didn't think it was that serious. I swear I didn't.
None of us thought it was that. None of us thought it was that serious. None of us did. None of us did. But child, oh, like I think it would have been okay, and we wouldn't have went in with all this tension if it wasn't for all the outside noise. That's what I think. But I agree. It is what it is. Oh, my bad, Nate 5. Listen. Charge it to my mind and not my heart, child. Like
okay, y'all. It's 532 people up in here and 302 likes. Y'all better. Like I said, I thought y'all weren't gonna be here.
Well, I really didn't expect it. I really did. I just knew it was gonna get a good 200. You know, because at first it looked like I was looking at the numbers on my laptop because it's not me and Josiah's page, so we really can't see them on our side. So I was looking at it on my laptop. I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's not looking too good, child."
Somebody said that was my brother-in-law. Who was my brother-in-law?
They talking about Mark.
Yeah, I'm screaming.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, this ain't looking too good because it was fluctuating from 160 to 140. I said, Lord have mercy. Then when he first came up here, the number started dropping. I was like, oh Lord, this ain't looking good. This ain't looking good. But yeah, we were able to bring like 600 people up in here. But despite the fact that we're gonna close this out on a positive note. Let's just say that. We're gonna close out on a positive note. Despite how tense and frustrating this interview was, I'm glad that you guys watched and I'm glad that you guys tuned in support of us. Mm-hmm. This was a big ass risk for us. And like I said, I'm definitely sure that the other pages that cover love and marriage Huntsville will be discussing this interview. They will be talking about it. So this is content. I'm not looking forward to that at all. I ain't gonna watch them videos. Sure. So yeah, that's pretty much that's all I got. I don't know about y'all too, if y'all got any closing remarks. Like, that's all I really got for that. I got to get my.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't hate Mark, and I don't dislike him. I just feel like that, he had the chance to come up here and tell his truth. Now, did I agree with what he had to say?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. But I just shout out for you for coming up here and telling your side of the story, because at the end of the day, these are open conversations.
Listen, like I said, I personally don't have no problems with Mark at all, because Mark ain't ever did nothing to me or said nothing to me personally for me to have an issue with him. Do I agree with a lot of stuff that he says, or did I agree with a lot of stuff that he said tonight? No. But it ain't never no shade, and it ain't no beef, and it ain't no issue. I mean, that's part of life. You know what I mean? So I feel no types of ways about bringing him up here. I'm glad that he came. I'm glad he kept his word. I'm glad he came. And I'm glad that y'all came and support. I totally appreciate that, y'all. I really do. Thank you guys for watching and supporting me and JoJo and Scotty. It is greatly appreciated. Shout out for all of the super chats. Shout out for the cash apps that I received. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for the likes. It's over 300 likes. I appreciate that. Go back and rewatch. Hit up and light up the comment section. Hit the like button on your way out the door if you didn't. And yeah, I love you guys.